You've got to be kidding me! Commanders Nation, what just went down at Northwest Stadium is absolutely devastating. We're watching our defense fall apart in real time, and this injury might change everything for the rest of the season. But that's not even the worst part. The Cowboys just embarrassed us in our house on Christmas Day with a historic play that's going to sting for years. And while all this chaos is happening, one of our guys is making explosive plays that remind us why we brought elite talent to Washington. If you think this game is over, you're out of your mind. Stick around, because what's coming next is Burgundy and Gold at full throttle. News 1. Jonathan Jones injury. Commanders fans, you need to understand how serious this is. Jonathan Jones, our 10-year NFL vet at cornerback, is now in concussion protocol and is questionable to return. Do you realize what that means for our secondary right now? Let me break it down. Jones isn't just another name on the roster. This dude has a decade of experience in this league. He's gone up against the best wideouts in the world, and just when we need him the most, on Christmas, against the Cowboys, in a crucial game, we lose him. Look at the numbers. Jones has racked up 25 tackles in 11 games this season with the Commanders. Not flashy stats, I get it, but in this defense, every tackle matters. Every snap counts. And now, in the second quarter, with Dallas up 21-3, we lose one of our defensive leaders. And here's the scariest part. Depth. Right now, our secondary is leaning on Antonio Hamilton, Noah Igbinoghene, and Mike Sainristil. I respect these guys. For real. But are they ready to handle CeeDee Lamb and Dallas's air attack without Jones? I think we're about to find out the hard way. This team has been dealing with injuries all season. This ain't new. But concussions? That's a whole different beast. It's not like a twisted ankle or a sore shoulder. We're talking about a player's brain, and the NFL's protocol is tight for a reason. So I ask you, how many more times are we going to see our key players go down in clutch moments? When is our injury luck going to flip? Because I'm telling you, after years of watching this team fall apart at the worst possible times, this feels like a curse. Here's the reality. Without Jones, our defense has to adjust on the fly. The defensive coordinator has to rethink the entire coverage scheme. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott is out there smiling, knowing we just lost one of our best. You think this is just bad luck? That on Christmas, in our house, against our most hated division rivals, we lose a 10-year vet? I'm telling you, football is a brutal sport. Stuff like this happens. But that doesn't make it hurt any less. And here's the million-dollar question. Can this defense hold up without Jones for the rest of the game? Can Hamilton, Igbinoghene, and Sainristil step up? Because if they can't, we're about to watch Dallas score again, and again, and again. The only silver lining, if you can call it that, is that Jones is questionable, not out. That means there's a slim chance he comes back. But with concussions, you never know. Player health comes first, always. I think this injury could define the rest of this game, maybe even the rest of our season. If Jones can't return, and if this concussion is serious, we could be looking at weeks without him, right when we're hitting the final stretch before the playoffs. Commanders Nation, this is the reality of pro football. 1 minute you're celebrating a big play, the next you're watching one of your best guys walk off to the locker room. It's crushing, it's frustrating. But it's part of the game we love. And if you think that's bad, wait till you hear this. News 2. Historic TD by Kavontae Turpin. Just when you thought the pain couldn't get worse, here it comes. Kavontae Turpin just shattered our hearts with an 86-yard touchdown. That's now in the NFL history books. You heard that right. 86 yards. The longest touchdown ever scored in a Christmas Day game in NFL history. Let me paint the full nightmare for you. Second quarter. Dallas already up 14-3. Third and 11. Our defense had to get a stop. Had to force a punt. Had to give our offense another shot. And what happened? Dak Prescott launches a deep bomb. Turpin blows past our secondary like it's not even there. And boom! 21-3. Game over. I'm telling you, there is nothing more humiliating than watching a Cowboys receiver run 86 yards in our house on Christmas Day. Nothing. And the worst part, This play is going to be on NFL highlight reels for years. Every Christmas, they'll replay it. Remember when Cavonte Turpin made history against the Commanders? And here's what makes it even more infuriating. Turpin wasn't even having a great season. The guy was averaging just 23.8 yards per catch, less than last year. He had 1 touchdown all season before this game. And his coach, Brian Schottenheimer, said back in August that Turpin was going to have a fabulous year. Fabulous? Up until now, he was a letdown. But of course, against US, Turpin turns into Jerry Rice. Against US, he writes his name in the record books. Against US, he has the best play of his season. Why? Because we're the Commanders. And apparently, we're the perfect team for Dallas players to have their moment of glory. So I ask you, where was our secondary on that play? Where was the deep coverage? How do you let a receiver run 86 yards without anyone touching him? That's unacceptable. Straight up. And here's the painful context. Dallas traded for George Pickens from the Steelers back in May. Pickens is 3rd in the league in receiving yards with 1,342. The Cowboys are loaded with weapons, and with all our injuries, we just can't keep up. Look, I think this play is the perfect symbol of our season. Flashes of brilliance followed by total collapse. 1 minute we're in it, the next we're watching the Cowboys celebrate on our field. You think our defense can bounce back from this? That they can regroup and stop Dallas the rest of the way? Because I'm telling you, with Jones out and Turpin now full of confidence, this is looking bad, real bad. And let's talk about the irony. Schottenheimer said Turpin and CeeDee Lamb were interchangeable. That they could move Turpin inside, Lamb outside. That they'd unlock Turpin's full potential. And for 13 games, nothing. But against us, on Christmas, boom! Historic play. You know what that tells me? The Cowboys saved their best plays for us. They saw us as the perfect opponent to unleash everything. And it worked. Worked to perfection. That 86-yarder wasn't just a touchdown. It was a statement. It was Dallas saying, we're better than you. We can do whatever we want on your field. And there's nothing you can do about it. I think this loss is going to sting for a long time. Because it's not just a loss. It's a Christmas Day humiliation. A record-breaking L against us. Everything we don't want to be as a franchise. And now the big question. How do we respond? How does this banged-up defense find the strength to keep fighting? Because if they don't, this game's about to turn into a bloodbath. But here's where things get crazy. News 3. Deebo Samuel destroys Donovan Wilson. But hold up. Not everything is negative in this Christmas game. Let me tell you about a moment of pure physical dominance that reminds us why we brought Deebo Samuel to Washington. I'm talking about a play that's going to be in every highlight reel this week. A play where Deebo ripped the helmet off a Cowboys defender with straight-up raw power. First quarter, 1st and 10. Deebo catches a screen pass and explodes. 41 yards of pure speed and strength. And just when you think the play's over, Dallas safety Donovan Wilson comes in for the tackle. And what does Deebo do? He destroys him, runs him over, rips his helmet off like he's snatching a beanie. I'm telling you, this is exactly why we paid for Deebo Samuel. That's the kind of physical impact that changes games, that intimidates defenses, that makes defenders think twice before trying to bring him down. Watch the replay from any angle. It's savage. Wilson comes in full speed, thinking it's a routine tackle. And Deebo just erases him. Helmet flies. Wilson's on the ground. And Deebo keeps running like nothing happened. You think that was luck? Just a fluke? No way. That's an ex-All-Pro showing why he's one of the most physical receivers in the NFL. That's Burgundy and Gold at its finest. Now let's be real. Deebo's first season in Washington has been a bit of a letdown stats-wise. He hasn't put up the explosive numbers we expected. But plays like this remind us of his value, his ability to make plays in space, his willingness to punish defenders. I think this play is a preview of what Deebo can do when we get him the ball in the right situations. 41 yards on a screen, one defender humiliated, and in the end, a field goal for the Commanders. So I ask you, Why don't we see more of this? Why aren't we feeding Debo in space more often? Because when we do, magic happens. When we let Debo be Debo, we're a different team. This play reminded me of that truck stick from Patrick Mahomes last season. That same level of brutality. That same, I don't care who you are, I'm running through you, energy, and coming from a wide receiver. Even more impressive. Donovan Wilson is probably still feeling that hit. Probably still looking for his helmet, because Debo didn't just tackle him, he dominated him. Made him look like a high schooler trying to tackle a grown man. And the best part, this happened against the Cowboys, our most hated rivals, in our house on Christmas Day. If you're going to make a statement, what better time than that? I'm telling you, we need more of this, more aggression, more plays designed to get Debo in space. More chances for him to show why he's one of the most dangerous players in the league with the ball in his hands. Yeah, we lost the game. Yeah, we got humiliated with that 86-yard touchdown. Yeah, we lost Jonathan Jones to injury. But this Debo play, it's a ray of hope. A reminder that we've got talent. That we've got guys who can dominate. The question is, are we going to use that talent? Are we going to build around plays like this? Because if we do, if we find a way to unleash Debo Samuel, this team can be dangerous. That play gave us 3 points. Not much in the grand scheme, but the psychological impact is huge. It tells the Cowboys, we can hit back. We can be physical too. You're not going to bully us. I think this is the mindset we need for the rest of the season. That Debo mentality of I'm running through whatever's in my way. Because with that attitude, with that aggression, we can hang with anybody. Commanders Nation, these 3 stories sum up our season perfectly. Brutal injuries, historic humiliations, but also flashes of absolute brilliance that give us hope. What do you think about Jonathan Jones's injury and how it affects our defensive depth? Do you think our secondary can survive without him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. How are you feeling about that historic Turpin touchdown? Is this a sign of deeper issues in our defense? I want to hear what you think. And that Debo play, do we need to see more of that? Should we be designing more plays to get him in space? Let me know your take. Look, I know this Christmas game hurts. I know watching the Cowboys celebrate at Northwest Stadium is painful. But this is our family. This is our community. And together, we're going to bounce back. If you're with me, if you believe in this team like I do, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Because I promise you, tomorrow we've got more explosive updates. And you do not want to miss what's coming. We are Commanders Nation. We are Burgundy and Gold. And no matter how many times we get knocked down, we always get back up.